Kapanen, no Ryan?
Ryan was sick. Kapanen he had an appointment for his immigration. So he'll be here tomorrow. And Derek, hopefully he'll be back soon.
So guys got a chance to do some skill work here today. How much value do you place in that, just giving the guys some opportunity, work on that during the season all day?
Well, I think it's very important. They spend a lot of time in the summer doing that kind of thing. They didn't do as much this summer with the shortened season. But, for them to do it in the summer, obviously it's an important thing, part of their game. And then during the season, it's very minimal because we play so many games and the practices. We have to carve out some time for the players to work on that, because I think it is important that they are touching the puck and their stick handling and they're feeling good about their game to make plays.
I asked Stu Skinner, what's a good save percentage in the NHL? He says, I don't even know. He says, it's coming down. What do you think is a good save percentage in today's NHL? It used to be like 915, 920.
915, 920 was exceptional.
It's like 9.
And now I think the average is about, 901, I think. And so if that's the average, but stats can be misleading. You can, let's talk about a goal scorer. And, if there's a goal scorer scoring 40 goals, but he's given up 60, is he really that good of a player? Or, same as the goaltenders. If they're giving up seeing quality shots and the rebounds aren't getting cleared, and that's going to affect their save percentage. But if you're a team that does a good job defending and everything's out to the outside, and, that definitely has a impact on the goalie's numbers. And, I think analytics, stats are very important to look at the game, but you have to use it carefully because it can be misleading.
Stu says, I don't even know what mine is. Is that a goaltender just blind to always play or what?
I think I'm going to guess when he's at the top of his game and playing well, and when the stats are looking good, he has no idea. When we were on our 16-game winning streak last year, and his save percentage was, I'm going to guess, probably about 950 during that time. I'm going to guess he didn't know what his save percentage was. So sometimes guys know when things are going well and they'll ignore it when it's going poorly, but I'm just going to guess Stu is not interested and he just wants to help the team win.
Chris, can I ask a bit more broadly just how your view, on analytics, because you seem very analytically inclined, and look at a guy, say, like Zach Hyman, you talked about his expected goals, individual expected goals being so high, and he just hasn't been scoring. You kind of keep wanting to go to that well because you feel like eventually things will change with players in general. Like you just kind of trust things will change when the analytics kind of say what they say.
Yes. There's always...
It's a broad question, I know.
It's a very broad question, but if you have a player who's typically, let's say, average shooting percentage in the NHL, I would say a forward is somewhere between 9 and 15%. There's a few players that are above that 15%. They're exceptional shooters, and occasionally you'll have an outlier season and you shoot really well. And whether it's good or bad, it's usually going to come to where it should be. If you're, I don't know what Zach Hyman's shooting percentage is right now. I'm going to guess it's probably about 5-6%. And last year was high. I think last year was about 17.5%. But he is typically probably about 14 to 15. There's a lot of luck and a lot of circumstances that dictate if you're going to score goals or not. A lot of it obviously has to do with what you're doing. Now, Zach Hyman's last year was 17-18%, but typically 14. But now if you're looking at a player who always shoots at about a 5%, he's probably a 5% shooter, just depending on he doesn't shoot very well or the type of shots that he's taken drops that down. So, a lot of it's luck. A lot of it is bearing down and making sure you finish your opportunities when you are ready. It's just not clear cut on exactly. There's a lot of circumstances.
What's a good sample size for you then? And then if things aren't changing, change course yourself, I guess.
I think we're at a point where we're at 20 games. I think that's a good sample size. I know they say if a good player is a good player after about 200 minutes or a line or a deep pairing. That is a good sample size to dictate if they are good or not. And, with a player scoring goals or not, I think we're at about 20 games. Yeah, that's about a good sample size to really know where they're going.
So Nuge is 4.5%. His average is 12%. But last year it was only 9. So it's coming down a little bit. Is he not getting the same chances that you figure Zach is? So you'd be more inclined to say, Zach's
Well,
getting a lot of chances around
yeah,
the net. Nuge is not.
Well, maybe you could say that Nuge isn't taking the same quality shots as he should be. I think of the last 2 or 3 games, I know Nuge ripped one off the crossbar and last night hit the butt end of the goalie stick. There's 2 goals. If those 2 goals go in, he's probably at his norm. There's other players who are a little bit higher, like Leon's.
Always 20.
He's always very high. I think right now he's about 22%. He's a little bit higher than usual. But Leon obviously won. He could shoot the puck really well, and obviously that one-timer at that bad angle is difficult for the goalie to save. And if you can hit the net, that's a good percentage that's going to go in the net. Also, if he misses the net, it doesn't count against the shooting percentage because it didn't hit the net. So there's a lot of factors on shooting percentage.
Speaking of a guy who usually has a very high shooting percentage, and that's Jeff Skinner. Where are you with him and kind of what he's doing, what he's maybe not doing, I guess?
I think there's another player we've got a lot of them. We can go through our roster and we can look at all the guys that are below averages, and he is one who's the way he shoots the puck and where he shoots the puck is not like the reason why he scores goals is because he is a good shooter and he takes good quality shots, and he's not shooting from the perimeter for rebounds. And I completely believe that maybe he won't hit his average shooting percentage because he's got off to such a slow start, but he's going to get closer to that average than what he is now.
It seems like the last few practices I've noticed you've been working a little bit every practice on getting shots from the point, getting a guy in front of the net. Is that going to help kind of the shooting percentage? Maybe, get some of those types of goals like deflections, rebounds, that sort of thing? Is that a focus?
Part of the goal scoring, the onus is on the forwards getting to the net. That's where the goals are going to come, whether it's a deflection or rebound or just finding a loose puck. But a lot of emphasis also on the defenseman, getting good quality shots. Sometimes our forwards aren't able to get to the net. They're just getting boxed out, or they thought the puck was going somewhere else and they couldn't get there. Now, for a defenseman to shoot the puck when no one's there, you're ultimately probably giving the puck away because you're not going to score on an NHL goalie with a shot from the blue line with nobody around there. So the onus is on for the defenseman. 1, wait till somebody gets there, or 2, look for a stick. And I thought the other game against the Rangers, we did a really good job on getting those type of shots. The shot selection from the defenseman were really good.